And if you want to keep a squeaky image and you don't want to fully let people in on how you're feeling, then don't do the show anymore. Sorry. Hey guys, it's your girl Cameron and I'm back at it again with another video. And today we're going to be talking about why the Kardashians are so boring now. Now I've seen an abundance of videos lately talking about the demise of Kylie. Kylie's not the it girl anymore. The demise of Khloe Kardashian and Kim. But a lot of these videos are coming from the angle of these women now as social media personalities and personas. A lot of people aren't really talking about the show and how that's helped, but probably has hurt them now in today's day and age. And as someone who has watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians since it first came out, you know how you start a show and you just have to see it through? Like Teen Mom series, that's the type of series that I just have to see through now because I've watched it since I was a kid. So that is what the Kardashians is for me. And now with their Hulu show, there's a difference. And I really want to talk about how their show has transitioned and has aided in their demise to an extent, their unrelatability, and this era that they are now in. Is their relevance fading? Like, comment down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And please hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more content like this. I just wanted to let my subscribers know I missed you. I have been gone for a little bit, building my career, building my credentials, my portfolio. I've been working as an editor, producer for another platform as well, which has been so exciting, very fulfilling. And obviously I've been really busy. I do a lot of things. So I'm finally starting to tweak and adjust my schedule so that I can get back posting a video for you guys every week. But just know, I will never stop making videos. So if I'm gone for a little bit, I'm gonna be back. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the commentary. I was watching the Hulu show the other night, and I believe we're on episode 3. And I thought to myself, I said, this shit is boring. Like, it is insufferable. And you think to yourself, this is a famous family who's built themselves off of reality TV. They're filthy rich. They have somewhat seemingly exciting, drama-filled lives. So why is this not resonating, especially with this new series? The family has become so aware of the image they've had to uphold that it has negatively impacted the show, almost to the point where it's like, maybe you guys should just quit or give it up if you don't want to do this anymore. First, we're going to talk about the history of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So the first episode aired on October 14th, 2007. Chris pitched this show to Ryan Seacrest, and he pitched it to him before this was an E production and before E picked up the show. So Chris has always had a vision. The show was supposed to be focused on the family, but Kim Kardashian at the time was starting to get some buzzings. People were like, I know this girl, but I don't know her. Kim at this time was maybe a D-list celebrity. She was Paris Hilton's closet organizer, best friend who would just be in paparazzi photos. But not long before, Kim's sex tape had been quote unquote leaked. And the world started to know who Kim was. And at this time, a lot of these girls, Paris Hilton, had sex tapes. So there's a lot of questions around, was this legit? Was it planned? Was it actually a leak? The show would not only focus on Kim, because Kim wasn't a star enough on her own to carry a show, but her family, Khloe, Kourtney, Kim, Kylie, Kendall, Rob. There we go. And then Chris and Bruce. We have this crazy family. It's giving very much like Brady Bunch meets Hollywood wannabe, and it was really exciting. You have all these different personalities. At the very beginning, the conception of the show, it was kind of fun, lighthearted, somewhat of a joke. Like, they didn't take themselves extremely seriously, and that was what was fun about it. I remember watching the show before all the Kardashian scandals, before the cultural appropriation, before everything. I was like, oh, they had fun, and it almost seemed like pointless. And at this time, reality TV shows were pointless. Everybody was coming out with one. So immediately, their 30-minute time slot on E saw success. For whatever reason, it worked. Even though there was 30-minute episodes, they made sure that these episodes packed a punch. There was usually a funny storyline going on, whether it was like the chicken coop or the store. They would usually have maybe a romantic angle or a work angle, and then maybe a tough emotional angle to kind of balance out the show and to make everything feel raw, real, relatable. So the middle years. By season 4, the Kardashians were starting to make a name for themselves. Like, people were kind of in Hollywood starting to take them somewhat seriously. The Kardashians had always been adjacent to celebrity. They'd always been around celebrity children. As much as their father made money, besides the OJ case, Kim dated Michael Jackson's nephew. They were friends with Paris Hilton. They were around affluent celebrities, wealthy people, and they were always adjacent. So finally, by around season 4, maybe season 5, the tabloids were really starting to cover the Kardashians. People magazine, weekly news, like Entertainment Tonight. Now, were they yet A-listers? Absolutely not. But people were really starting to say, oh, I know who these people are. By season 8, I would say they were pretty much close to on their way to being A-listers. And I always say it's kind of when Kanye came into the picture is when the family took it and went to a completely different level. And also earlier, Kim definitely had already started exploring business ventures, but some of the other sisters, Khloe and Kourtney, started to really tag along, make a name for themselves and their brand, and start to set themselves apart from Kim or just the Kardashian name. And that was monumental in creating an influx for the star power of their family. So the shows were now an hour long by this point. Again, there was still these multiple storylines. It gave us a deeper dive into their lives versus the 30-minute episode. People became invested a few seasons in, genuinely. Iconic episodes like Khloe and Lamar getting married.
Will you marry me? A whirlwind courtship.
That was huge. I feel like that was a huge trajectory. As much as anybody wants to say, Khloe has carried this show on her back. Kim and Kris getting married, Rob and Adrian's relationship. I was a Cheetah Girls fan, so automatically season 1, I loved the show because I got to see Adrian Bailon every week. The relationships, the Scott and Kourtney issues, like the family was not untouchable at this point. They were still very raw, very vulnerable. Now, the show is announced to be departing from E and moving to Hulu. So they fooled us, first of all. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, the show is done, which, to be honest, the show started to get kind of dry. It really did. But they made us think like it was done. And then a few months later, we hear an announcement that they're moving to Hulu. And it's just called The Kardashians. They dropped the Keeping Up. Before this point, the views were starting to steadily decline. And by season 18, views were reportedly under the 1 million mark, which is not great considering now you're this family with all this star power and you're not even getting 1 million views. And this is a quote from the Digital Spy. What's more, the youngest of audience are opting for social media over traditional television. And unsurprisingly, the Kardashian Jenners have already carved out their audiences there. And I agree. I think this is a reason why it started to decline. Because now when I can see every bit of the Kardashian life on social media, the behind the scenes, right then and there, I think it probably did retract some people's care to watch the show. Now then they moved to Hulu and the Kardashian show started, I believe, in 2021. The difference between the late years of the E production and now the Hulu production is similar but different in many ways. The Hulu show features a higher value in production. It's a little less home video and it's a lot more posh. And it's this new minimal aesthetic. It features a lot more overhead shots, the slides. And I'm a video editor, so I'm paying attention to the camera work. I'm paying attention to the design style. And it's a lot more stripped down and it's simple, but it's minimal and it's pink. It's not bad, but it's definitely different. The Kardashians did an interview with Variety and it said, Variety has learned the streamer will be launching 2 seasons, 40 episodes total, of a reality series that feels like a premium version. So that really affirms everything that I just said about the style. Glossy, glamorous aesthetic just makes it fall very flat. It's not reminiscent at all of the fun, lighthearted days where they didn't take themselves so seriously. And now it feels like a vlog. That's what it feels like. It feels like a vlog. But it's also similar to The Late Show on E! Because by this point, they seemed guarded. It seemed like they were really trying to control narratives fiercely, holding things back, not saying what they really want to say. And I feel like this really started around the time Khloe started dating Tristan. It's almost like everybody lost an opinion. Nobody really wanted to say what they wanted to truly say. And it started to get frustrating. Hulu series. Tristan has done Khloe so dirty over and over again, but like all Kylie has to say is
really disappointed in Tristan.
It's just insane in general. Like,
well, no, the whole thing is.
this is just a never-ending, like, it's horrible.
nah, you should be cussing him the fuck out. And I don't know if this has changed because they have children now, and they're like, I don't want anything to be out there that's going to change my children's thoughts. But it happened. It's out there. Your kids are going to find out about it. So why save face? I think that's a part of the reason why it's become very filtered. It's like they're always trying to protect somebody or save face to the point where it doesn't make for good TV. Sorry, if you have a reality TV show, we like authentic feeling drama. Also, maybe cancel culture could have done something to the disinterest of the family, and it's never worked on them. But the fear of saying the wrong thing too. I think there's some things that they're probably afraid to get dragged for. So they just, especially Khloe, they try to keep it cute and they try not to say anything. But again, that does not make for good TV. And if you want to keep a squeaky image and you don't want to fully let people in on how you're feeling, then don't do the show anymore. There's hardly any personality. So Exhibit A is Khloe. Khloe is one of the best examples of, in human form, the trajectory and the change in the show throughout the past 14 years. She was very unfiltered at the beginning of the show.
My sisters say I'm a bitch.
Who the cares? Shut up, everyone.
Unwavering in her opinions, defensive, funny, and honestly was considerably the favorite sister. A lot of people were like, Khloe's my favorite. She's the realest. But as the years have gone on, Khloe is much more reserved, very diplomatic in her answers, very politically correct, and constantly trying to be mature.
I want Tristan here with me, and I'm mature enough to say that.
Because of the kids.
And for true, I don't want to act like that.
And what's frustrating about this is it seems so inauthentic. And I have to say, Khloe has probably developed a guard because of everything that she's kind of had to do with press, with men, with her relationships, her failed marriage, being cheated on 50 million times. But you can tell this reserved nature. It's like she's saying she's letting us in, but it's like, girl, we know you're more pissed off than that. We want to see it. Back in the day when Khloe was literally slapping Scott up.
Hey, Khloe, she's pregnant. Can you stop yourself from
Touch her. What?
She was cussing him out. It was chaotic. And with Tristan, it's crickets.
To take away.
And I think that speaks volumes to how guarded this family has become. How they could go from being so protective to on camera just writing it off like it's kind of nothing. She probably has dialed back, especially with the Tristan drama after the Jordan situation, because she got a lot of backlash for how she handled it on the show.
I want people to be afraid. Yeah.
But I just feel like the singing and the internet stuff, like, it's just not okay.
My world got destroyed. Well, Jordan is doing press interviews about it? Who the do you think you are?
But people were tuning in. Regardless if they agreed with how the Kardashians handled it, people were watching when this drama happened. And honestly, when the show is being driven off of ratings and relevance, you literally have to take it there. Whether people are going to hate you or like you for it, it's worth it. Now, Exhibit B is Kylie Jenner. Kylie was only 9 years old when the show started. And granted, I understand that Kendall and Kylie were thrusted into this. So I understand them being more guarded as adults because they literally had a camera in their face since they were 9 and 11. But at this point, Kylie is one of the most, if not the most famous and relevant sisters. Certainly hike up the views if she would make herself more visible and vulnerable. But if you've noticed in the Hulu series, Kylie shows up all of about once or twice. And she's very guarded. We don't get many scenes with her in it. We don't get to know anything about her life. And when she's the most relevant person in this family and you're trying to drive ratings, You should utilize that. All we get is scenes of her in a grocery store, cosplaying being poor for a day or normal, and having fun because she never gets to go to a car wash.
We have to bring the kids here.
You know what? This is such a tourist attraction. This is the best $12 we've ever spent.
It's extremely surface, and it's funny because Kylie was known as the fun, free-spirited sister, even during the keeping up days, but especially when she started getting really heavy into Snapchat, Tumblr. People loved Kylie for her personality from about 2014 to like 2018. But many people have pointed out that she feels empty, kind of soulless, and very guarded, especially after she's had her kids. And that leads to what I was saying earlier about a lot of people talking about the demise of Kylie. Is she relevant anymore? She does not share her life. She literally doesn't. Like, they talked about her naming her son Wolf and then retracting it. That could have been a moment to be like, hey, this is the name. Let's get ratings up. But all we get is her saying,
But his name has changed.
And it's not Wolf.
No.
I'm not going to tell you. So what's the point? I'm telling you, everything is for a social media moment. So if that's the case, why you got a show? Why you got a show? In conclusion, this new show is just boring. It's that simple. Rich people being rich is not as fun to watch as it used to be. And quite frankly, what made the Kardashians fun and relatable and what made people fall in love with them was not the fact that they were already so flippin' rich on yachts every day and that they had these extravagant parties. It was their personalities. And I think that the fame has caught up to them to where they're just not interesting anymore. Rich people aren't always that interesting. Their lifestyles are, but them as people are not always that interesting. And this shows. We've seen a million of your decorated dinner parties. We've seen the vacations. We've seen the houses. Damn near Kris has 2 apartments that she forgets exist. She has a whole champagne cellar and a whole lettuce fridge. We've seen it all. We get it. You're rich. You're filthy rich. They might be waiting to keep this machine going so that they can pass on the torch to the kids so that when they're ready to go off to the races. So maybe they're betting on the next gen. That's probably what they'll call it. Keeping up the next gen. They're probably waiting because they know their kids are going to be the it kids, the it girls, the it boys of the next generation. We've seen them grow up. And it's interesting to see this evolution of the show. I'll probably finish watching the rest of the season because this is my show that I've started from the beginning and I feel like I gotta see it through. But it might get to the point where I'm like, I just don't care. Comment down below if you agree. If you watch the show and you think it's boring, please comment down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.